Sunday, May 8, 2022. Happy Mother's Day and welcome to LCJ Live, special Mother's Day edition. And of course, we're going to get to those Doctor Strange box office numbers here. Send in your questions and your comments. I think everything looks good. A little good. All right. Doctor Strange, $185 million. Wow, 185. I thought it was going to get to 200, but still 185 million is a pretty big number for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I thought it was 200 because after yesterday, it was looking like that. But Disney is saying, all right, 36 million from Thursday night. And then another 54 million Friday when I saw it. Ugh, not a fan of this movie. They're saying 58.75 million yesterday. So they're estimating $36.25 million today. That's a little low to me, but it is Mother's Day. But Doctor Strange is the ultimate Mother Marvel movie because all it is about, well, some of what it's about, is about Wanda wanting her kids back. That's a huge part of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And here he is, Doctor Strange. It's the brand new Doctor Strange Pez, alongside two mothers for this Mother's Day, Marge and Fiona. Happy Mother's Day to all. Hope you're doing well. 185 million is good for the theaters. It's the biggest open of the year. It's the second biggest open of the pandemic period behind Spider-Man No Way Home. And bigger than the Batman this year. And 185 million bucks. It's 100 million more than the first Doctor Strange opened to back in November of 2016. It's because we saw it with the first Captain America and the first Thor movie. We saw it with the first Ant-Man movie, increasing to the second one. The others increased. It's because of the phenomenon that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the increased popularity and the increased interest in these characters and their subsequent sequels. Thor, Love and Thunder opens 2 months from today. How high will it have when it comes to its opening weekend? Will it come close to 185 or $200 million? We will have to see. Kelvin, thanks for being here on this Mother's Day Doctor Strange edition of LCJ Live. Another Marvel movie in just 2 months. 6 in a calendar year. Because they're making up for lost time because we had the pandemic. When you look at Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Thor, all being released in a 365-day period of time. 6 in a year. 5 in 10 months. That's when Doctor Strange becomes the 5th in 10 months. And the fans keep going. Now, we had okay opens for Black Widow and Shang-Chi and Eternals, but in some cases it was lack of interest. In some cases it was I'd rather watch the movie at home. I'd rather wait. And then, of course, Spider-Man was gigantic, and this is a strong second position. And we will see what Thor, Love and Thunder does. The bad guys with a decent number 2 position, 10 million bucks just about, going up against that 185 of Doctor Strange. It is at 57.6. The bad guys has now made more money than the Boss Baby Family Business from last summer. It is just about to make more money than The Croods: A New Age from a year and a half ago, and it will pass Abominable, which DreamWorks had in September of 2019, which made about $61 million. So, The Bad Guys is a success for DreamWorks compared to some of their last movies, for sure. Compared to the movies released in the pandemic period, Spirit Untamed only made about $18 million, and it's going to be a success. Will that mean a sequel? I don't know. Because some of the other DreamWorks movies in the past have made a lot more money. How to Train Your Dragon franchise, and the first Trolls, and there's going to be a third Trolls because I think they're making up for the second one not doing much at the box office because it couldn't open in many theaters. So we will see. Of course, Puss in Boots is their next big movie for Christmas time. Supposed to come out in September, but Universal and DreamWorks have pushed Puss in Boots to Christmas. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 still did well. Families still want to go to the movie. 6.2 million. It's at 170 million bucks for Paramount. A studio that is hoping, praying Top Gun Maverick does really well in about 2.5 weeks. Fantastic Beasts, 4 million. It's at 86. Ugh. Warner Brothers has to be disappointed. And they don't have another movie coming out until Elvis on June 24th. Wow. Yeah. And then Super Pets, July 29. Those are 2 of the big summer releases for Warner Brothers, which had a gigantic start to the year with Batman and now major decrease with Fantastic Beasts. Everything Everywhere All at Once, another 3.3 million. It's at 41.6. It continues to do well for A24. 2.8 million for The Northman. It's at 28.1. Lost City, another 2.5. It's at 94.4. So it will get to 95. Will Paramount try to get it to 100? I think it's going to come up short. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, $1.5 million. It's at 16.4. A very niche movie, and you see that in the box office results. Memory, the latest Liam Neeson thriller, dropped pretty big from last weekend, even though it didn't make much last weekend. 1.2 this weekend. It's at 5.5. May not get to 7. It's going to depend on what happens. Blacklight, that came out in February, got to about 9.5. The others, Honest Thief and Marksman, right around 15 million each. So the Liam Neeson action thriller in theaters momentum has really gone down. And as of now, rounding out your top 10 this weekend is Father Stu with 870,000. It's at 19.2. But Sony has not yet reported what Morbius did this weekend. And Morbius was paired with Doctor Strange in a lot of drive-ins around the country. Did Morbius make more than $870,000? Which is what I think I said for Father Stu, not $870 billion. 870,000. Did it make more than that? Or not? That is the question. I think those results are going to have to come in either today or certainly with the actual results tomorrow. I think it's got a shot. If everybody went to Doctor Strange and the drive-ins did really well with it, then of course the second feature is also going to do well. So we could see Morbius overtake Father Stu and get into the top 10. This weekend coming up in the theaters is Firestarter, which is the new Stephen King horror adaptation starring Zac Efron. It is also on Peacock. As we talked about last week here on LCJ Live, Universal chose it along with Marry Me as the two films to go theaters and Peacock this year. So that's what's happening with that. There is a family comedy called Family Camp. Feels like might have been a direct-to-DVD film once upon a time, but Roadside Attractions is going to put it out in theaters. We will see how that does. Those are your two big, wide releases this coming weekend. Of course, Doctor Strange is going to be number one again next weekend. The question is, how mighty of a fall will it have? 185? Could it go down to 60? And then the following weekend, maybe it actually goes down to 30, and maybe, because Downton Abbey, the first one, opened to 31 million, maybe there will actually be a battle between Downton Abbey and week 3 of Doctor Strange for the number 1 position in 2 weeks. That will be interesting, because we have to figure out how many older moviegoers are ready and comfortable to go back to the movies and go see the Downton Abbey sequel out of the gate. That could actually be a battle. Next weekend won't be a battle, but we could get one over the May 20th weekend. So that would be interesting. Walkie_talkie_ hi LCJ. Hello to you. Thank you for being here on this Mother's Day Doctor Strange edition of LCJ Live. Now, Firestarter's in theaters. It's on Peacock. Senior Year, which I watched last night, but I cannot talk about, a new Rebel Wilson comedy on Netflix. I'm embargoed for a few more days on sharing my thoughts. That is on Netflix this Friday. It is a Paramount co-production that is on Netflix. Sneakerella is, I've seen that as well. It's a new Disney Channel movie on Disney Plus this Friday, May 13th, so some people may check that out. And Operation Mincemeat, which is in select theaters from Netflix, and excellent ensemble cast, the best cast and acting of the year so far. Quite a drama. I don't want to give everything away about it because there are some great surprises in it, but it's a true story World War II drama. Colin Firth, Johnny Flynn, Kelly MacDonald, Jason Isaacs is really good in it. Operation Mincemeat. It is on Netflix this Wednesday, May 11th. Very much worth your time. So those are the big movies. A couple in the theaters we've got, and several on streamings this coming week. Thoughts on Doctor Strange, says DJ Rajobo. Yeah, I got my Too Fast, Two Films podcast episode coming out soon, but let me give you a little more of my thoughts on Doctor Strange. The word that comes to my mind is cornball. That is the experience I had watching this. I'm rolling my eyes, I'm going, really? And then there are certain A-listers that show up, and I go, really? You're just shoving in these cameos, just like Sam Raimi is shoving in that horror element. There's been a lot of talk online about the fact that this Doctor Strange got a PG-13 rating, which is no surprise. All these MCU movies get PG-13 ratings. But some people thinking it should have been R. There are a couple moments that gave me that indication, but to be very honest, I've seen PG-13 movies with violence and scary elements and creepy elements and eerie elements and shocking moments that should have gotten an R more than this movie, to be quite honest. This movie is not for kids. Let me just say that. This Doctor Strange is not for young kids. They should not see it. But not only because it's not appropriate for them, but it's not a very good film. But I have seen worse. films that the MPAA says will give you that PG-13. I have. But yeah, I mean, they're always all over the place when it comes to how they rate movies and why they rate movies. But this Doctor Strange, I couldn't connect to the Wanda story, couldn't connect to the characters, and the whole multiverse aspect, and the rules. And there are no rules, and everything changes, and you can do whatever you want. It's too much. It's too crazy. It's too obscure. It's too all over the place to take seriously, to enjoy. Yeah, it's just getting out of control. I say that on the podcast episode as well. It's out of control, like Regis used to say. And if they're thinking they're going to just continue this for 10 years, that you can pop characters in and pop them out and bring people back from the dead and not bring people back from the dead, I don't know. Really? I mean, I'm getting sick of it. And I don't know how this Thor movie's going to be. Thor Ragnarok was my favorite of the three Thors because it was a little more entertaining, and Taika Waititi's a talented guy. Look at Jojo Rabbit and some of the other projects he's been a part of. So maybe this Thor Love and Thunder will be entertaining. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy in there as well. Hopefully it will not be too cutesy and overly clever and all of that. But the direction we're going in, now that the multiverse has opened up, I'm not into it. I miss Robert Downey Jr. I'm not into this. And we'll see where it goes. I mean, every movie is different, but at the same time, this Doctor Strange really did feel like a continuation of Spider-Man. And what was special about Spider-Man No Way Home, a film I don't love, but like the second half for obvious reasons of who shows up, but because that worked. That was meant to be. The two people who enter back into our Spider-Man cinematic lives, it made sense. Some of these other appearances and other, they just don't make sense. They're just in there to shock people. Let's get Twitter going. Yeah, no, don't. Yeah. So, if this is the next 10 years of just all of this, I think people are going to get sick of this. I think they will. Now, the money is still there because the fandom will go, but over the next several weeks with the drops, maybe Disney and Marvel are going to finally see something with that. I don't know. I'm not too confident in the future of the MCU at this moment in time. But we'll see. It needs a revamp. It needs something besides just bringing everyone in and out all the time. Maybe that's what Kevin Feige's got to figure out on his retreats. Hey, this Saturday, it's a new episode of the Back to You podcast, finally! 3rd year anniversary special episode with some surprises in there. New episode, Back to You podcast, this Saturday, May 14. Today is day 15 of the 3rd annual Back to You podcast Doing It Again Marathon. We're going all week to Friday with an episode a day, getting you caught up on the Back to You podcast, and then the brand new episode, number 21 of the Back to You podcast, this Saturday, May 14th. So excited to share that with all of you. Hope you have a great Mother's Day. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you go see a movie. Maybe take your mother to a movie. You know, I took my mother a year ago this Mother's Day. We went to In the Heights. There was a special screening. It was the first time I came back to the movies in 8 months to an indoor movie theater, and 14 months for the first one in the state of New York. We went to see In the Heights. And it was great to be back at the movies. It felt good. It really did. And as I posted yesterday on social media, in the past year, as we wrap up this year of the return to the movies, 49 films in indoor theaters, 10 different indoor theaters, and a couple drive-ins as well, which added up to 51. But 49 at indoor theaters over the past year, almost one a week on average, back to the movies. Support your cinemas, support your theaters. I know the prices are going up. And wow, when I look at these Top Gun Maverick tickets, do you know they're doing Top Gun Maverick's Tuesday night screenings in many parts of the country in premium formats, IMAX and RPX. And they're doing, are you ready for this? $6 surcharge. That's right. You get your normal ticket price for a movie, not a new movie that's out first week, because now those go up $1. But if you're seeing like The Bad Guys 3rd week, you pay a certain amount of money. If you want to see Top Gun Maverick in IMAX or RPX 2 nights early, you will pay a $6 surcharge. You know, say it's well, I know what the prices are, but it's outrageous. It's just outrageous. It's like $26. I mean, to see it in the IMAX and the versus, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, the amount of money to see these movies. I have some stats and things over there, but yeah, it's ridiculous. It's $6 just for 48 hours in advance. I mean, at some point, people are going to get sick of these prices and are going to revolt and are not going to go to the movies. They're going to wait until Redbox when it's $1.25. Now, for some movies, they want that theatrical experience. Top Gun Maverick, to see it on the big screen. I've talked with a couple people who have seen Top Gun Maverick and loved seeing it at CinemaCon on the giant screen with the picture and the sound and the impact. But when you're paying out of control prices, oh, I'll tell you what it is. Yeah, it's $6 surcharge off of what a regular IMAX is, a regular RPX. Yeah, it's insane. When you're paying that much, when you're paying $26.45 a ticket, I mean, people are going to go, no. People are going to say, I'm going to wait. I don't need to see it 48 hours in advance. I'll go for the regular price, and I'll be okay. I'll wait. $26.45. That's what the IMAX is charging to see Top Gun Maverick 2 nights early. I think it's $23.95 for the RPX, which is $6 of what the normal tickets are for those theaters. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So we'll see how it does. I know Paramount is hoping, praying Top Gun Maverick's going to do really well, but I don't know. That's if theaters think and the studios think that they can take that much from people's wallets in one time for one movie, I don't know. Is that number going to keep going up for more of these films? You know, is Thor going to do something and it's an $8 surcharge if you want to see it 2 nights early? Or some of these other films coming out this year, next year? I don't know. That concerns me a little bit. That concerns me. Got a looking good Jackson comment. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. I support the theaters, but yeah, I understand if the prices are getting too high. Believe me, I feel it. That the prices are probably getting too high. So we'll have to see where that goes. But that is fascinating to me. It's fascinating. Next week, we'll be here for LCJ Live. We'll talk about Doctor Strange Week 2. We'll preview the Downton Abbey Doctor Strange battle. We'll preview some other movies coming out on streaming services on the 20th. I've seen several. And some other films coming out the following week. I've already seen 1 or 2 of those. And we'll preview more and see what's going on in the world of entertainment. We had the Daytime Emmy nominations the other day. We've got the Tony nominations tomorrow. And we've got more awards buzz on the way as well. Hope you have a great Mother's Day. Stay well, stay positive. It's a beautiful day here in upstate New York if you want to get outside. And I am Lights Camera Jackson. For more, go to Instagram at Lights Cam Jackson, Twitter at LCJ Reviews. The website is lights-camera-jackson.com. And this Saturday, the brand new episode of the Back to You podcast. You can read some of my Q&As at animationscoop.com. New Too Fast, Two Films podcast episode is coming soon. I'll be back on 99.5 The River on Friday. And a lot more I look forward to sharing with you soon. Take care. Happy Mother's Day. Bye-bye.